It is the College Football Playoff National Championship. Number one, High Point University Panthers take on the number three Central Michigan Chippewas for the biggest trophy out of the entire season and bragging rights. As we welcome you inside of Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins, Mason Urbain here. In just under an hour, I will be up in the booth, ready to call this game. It's the final game of the college football season, and what a season it's been for these two teams. You know, you had HBU who failed to score under 40 points all season long. You had Central Michigan who was able to turn things around from last season. You know, they got eliminated one game shy of the national championship last season in the semifinals of the college football playoff. They lost to San Jose State. And then you have HPU, a brand new team this season from a brand new conference. It is the Tidal Coast Conference, established 2025. It features High Point University, North Michigan, Michigan Tech, and a ton of others. Saginaw Valley, Delta, all those schools are a part of the new established Tidal Coast Conference. It was a great season in the TCC, and the MAC Conference wasn't any less fun to watch because they were competitive too, but CMU was able to do exactly what they did last season, go undefeated. And then this season, like we said, they did it one better. They got to the national championship. HPU, first season in college, in the bigger divisions of college football and in a new conference, won the conference championship in its inaugural season, beat multiple rivals in their season. They won the conference title, and they got their playoff wins they needed to advance here. Playoff wins came over, what was the school again? Oh, Louisville in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. And then in the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential, they overcame Western Kentucky, shutting them out, dropping 77 on them to advance to this championship game. And then you got Central Michigan. Just give me 1 sec to pull it up here. They do exactly what they did last season. They get the first round bye. They were one of the 4 teams with a first round bye. And they beat Michigan 23-17. They missed the extra point and then were able to intercept Bryce Underwood inside the 20 in the red zone to ice it. And then they went and beat the Bulldogs 37-30 in overtime in the All-State Sugar Bowl. And it was a turnaround for first-round bye teams this season compared to last season. Last season, in the inaugural year of the 12-team college football playoff, the teams that received the first-round bye went 2-2. Georgia and San Jose State were the only 2 teams to advance. The other ones got eliminated. This season, first-round bye teams went 3-1. Central Michigan, Georgia, and HPU were the only 3 teams to win. San Jose State lost. Both of the teams that appeared in the college football playoff national championship from a season ago have been eliminated. Louisville, the defending national champion, lost in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl to High Point. And then San Jose State lost to Western Kentucky in the Orange Bowl. Western Kentucky, what a season it was for them. They had a turnaround from last season. Last season, they went 6-3, missed the playoffs. This season, they go 12-0. That includes the conference championship. And then, unfortunately, they don't. Well, they don't. This is actually more great than unfortunate. They don't lose a single game until the Rose Bowl. And I really think that Western Kentucky team will be back with vengeance next season. I really think that they can make a push for the college football playoff national championship. You know, they were one game away. Unfortunately, when you're going up against a team that hasn't scored fewer than 40 points all season long, it's kind of hard to beat them. Now, they did kind of push the Panthers to a slow start, though. It was a turnover on downs and an interception for Xavier Jarvis. Not really something you see out of him very often. But Xavier Jarvis was able to turn around. The defense stepped up and allowed Western Kentucky to not score a single touchdown in that game. Central Michigan overcame a deficit. They were down 30-14. It was looking like Georgia was going to advance to the college football playoff national championship. And then the Chippewas said, not today. They came back and tied the game in regulation, and they were the ones with the last laugh in overtime. And it only took one overtime because they ran the ball in for a touchdown, kicked the extra point, and then the Bulldogs threw an interception, which lost the game immediately. So that was close, and the Rose Bowl game, not even close. Let's take a look at the playoffs as we go. So it all kicked off in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky, who was the 5th seed, took on UCLA. They won 36-14. Louisville won 36-10 over UAB. UCLA was the 12th seed. Louisville was the 9th seed. UAB was the 8th seed. Then we got Michigan winning 21-7 over Notre Dame. Michigan was the 6th seed. Notre Dame was the 11th seed. And closing out the first round, number 7 UCF beat East Carolina, the 10th seed, 31-23. And that was all in regulation. Then this is where things start to see an extra quarter, if you call it, of football. The Orange Bowl, presented by Capital One, was won 31-28 by Western Kentucky. San Jose State was a first-round bye team. They were the 4th seed. That was their first loss of the season. They scored a touchdown to go up 28-24, and Western Kentucky had just enough time to score the game-winning touchdown. And unfortunately, while they got a good return on the kickoff, unfortunately, an interception did not do San Jose State any good, and Western Kentucky was able to knee that clock out. Then this is where history's made. The Verbo Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. It was High Point, who's playing here in the national championship, taking on Louisville. And that went to 4 overtimes and saw the Panthers win 41-35. That was another famous history moment because not really history, but the Louisville Cardinals went for, instead of just kicking the field goal and winning the game, which would have happened, the Cardinals opted to try to do a trick play and score a touchdown instead that failed miserably, forcing the 4th overtime. Then the Panthers were able to score the touchdown. They missed the PAT, and I said that wrong. They were able to score the touchdown in the game. No missed PAT there. So 41-35 in 4 overtimes. That was history, as a college football playoff game or national championship had never gone to overtime before. We go to the Cotton Bowl presented by Goodyear. We mentioned that the Chippewas won that one 23-17, missed PAT, but no problem. They were able to keep Michigan out of the end zone and keep them from at least tying the game up after Bryce Underwood threw an interception. Then we go to the Peach Bowl presented by Chick-fil-A as we watch the 2-seed Bulldogs. By the way, Central Michigan was the 3 seed. We watched the 2-seed Bulldogs take on the UCF Knights, and that game was not even close. 37-14, the Bulldogs won that one. UCF got heartbroken in that one. Then it's off to the semifinals. We mentioned another overtime contest between Central Michigan and Georgia, and then a blowout in the High Point Western Kentucky game. And now here's where all the history comes into effect. We had never had an overtime game in playoff or national championship history. We've also never had multiple overtimes in playoff or national championship history. But we've also never had multiple games that went to overtime in the playoffs. So HPU and Central Michigan have history on their side because they've won their playoff games in overtime. Just one of them won it in quadruple overtime. And HPU holds the record for the most points scored in a playoff game. Right now, Louisville holds the record for the most points scored in a national championship when they scored over 80 points on San Jose State a season ago to win that one. So it's going to be interesting to see where these teams sit at the end of this. The game begins at 9 p.m. It's about to be 8:30. We still got a 30-minute pregame show here. We are going to grab a quick break and be right back. So don't go anywhere. You're getting ready to watch one of the greatest games, hopefully, in the history of college football. The 3-seed Chippewas take on the 1-seed Panthers for bragging rights and the biggest trophy of the year. Welcome back to the Urbain Woodworking College Football Playoff National Championship pregame show. Teams are on the field right now warming up a bit before they head back to the locker room for pregame speeches from their coaching staff, and motivation. And we're up here. I am now up here in the booth as I welcome you to it. It is an honor to be calling this game tonight. And just as much as it is an honor for both of these teams to be playing in this game tonight. Obviously, a lot is going through these teams' heads right now because you realize you have a chance at history. A lot is on the line tonight. You can't afford to lose one game like you can in the regular season. It's just like the other playoff games, except this one means more. You get a trophy for winning the playoff games, but everyone wants this trophy. This is the trophy you want to lift at the end of the season. This is the trophy that every team tries for, beginning in week 0, leading up to the playoffs, and leading up to this moment. None of these teams can fail to show up. They cannot afford that. They need to bring their energy, their motivation, everything that they brought in the regular season. They passed the first task by going undefeated during the regular season. They passed the second task by winning their conference championship game. They passed the third task of getting through the playoff. And they passed the fourth task of punching their ticket to the national championship. It is time to show up, and it is time to fight for your right to party. Fight for your city. Fight for your college. Fight for your parents. If you're a senior, fight to go out a champ. It is and always will be an honor to bring myself into the homes of many college football fans. While as we celebrate this moment and celebrate these two teams for their accomplishments leading up to this game, we're also kind of sad. The football family is sad because this is the final game of the season. Fear not, my fellow college football playoff fans, or just college football fans in general. The new season begins in February. So sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and enjoy this moment. Whether you're a Panthers fan, a Chippewas fan, or a fan of another team. Sit back, enjoy this moment. Treat it as if this is the last time it will ever happen in your school's history. And now that let's look at the quarterback comparison. Joe Labas for Central Michigan, he's been perfect all season long. His touchdowns ratio is more than his interceptions. He has 27 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions over the course of the 9 regular season games they played. And he is 17 for 5 in the playoff. So 17 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions. The Panthers, their regular season touchdown to interception ratio is a little better than the playoff, but they still got here. It was 56 TDs and about 13 INTs over the course of 10 games. Now, before you say 13, that's terrible. Compare it to the touchdowns he threw, that's perfect. I mean, sophomore quarterback probably need to be getting it going now, But junior year's coming up, that's when you really need to get it going. I can excuse 2 years of some mishaps. In the playoffs, like we said, not so great. It was about 10 touchdown passes per game and about 11 INTs total throughout the entire games. So I mean, it's kind of not great, but you know what? None of that matters now. The regular season doesn't matter, the playoff doesn't matter, the conference championship games don't matter. We are past that point right now. We are at the point where one of these schools is going to be lifting that trophy high at the end of this game and celebrating it no matter what their touchdown to INT ratio is, no matter what their stats are for the season. They're going to be lifting that trophy high. The other team's going to be in the locker room wondering what went wrong and preparing for next season. It doesn't matter who wins this championship. Everybody's in Cancun tomorrow. But if you want to be the 2026 champion, the real contest begins now. We got some predictions as joining me in the booth. Ironically, this kind of feels illegal having these two in here, but we got Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer. Good evening, gentlemen. It's an honor to be calling this game with you guys. Obviously, you guys have had your fair share of wins and losses over one another. Let's get into some predictions. Urban, you want to go first? Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Panthers 41-38. I mean, they failed to score under 40 points all season long. They've been absolutely demolishing teams. But Central Michigan has been doing that equally in the MAC side of things. So honestly, I don't think the one school is going to blow the other one out in this game. I think it's going to be a close game. Give me 41-38 HPU. Yeah, this is actually one thing me and Urban can agree on, Mason. It is that it will be a close game, but I'm actually going to say Central Michigan 31-24. Now, people might think I'm crazy for that, and, you know, HPU hasn't scored under 40 points all season long, but Central Michigan's defense is just as good as HPU's. And if they can light up the HPU offensive line, I think that Central Michigan can be the only team to have held the Panthers under 40 points all season long. So give me Central Michigan 31-24. And that sends us downstairs. Gus, what do you think? Well, I'm going to agree with Urban. I'm going to say the Panthers win this one 44-41 in overtime. I think that it's going to be a close game. And again, Panthers haven't scored under 40 points all season long. I don't really expect them to do that now. All right, thank you, Gus. And on the other sideline, we got Chris Fowler. Chris, I'm gonna go HPU 41, Central Michigan 20. Listen, the Central Michigan Chippewas have been great all season long, but HPU's proven that they can be better in certain things. I just really think that the Panthers will be able to pull away with this one. So I'm gonna go 41-20. Alrighty, folks. Well, it's time for my prediction. I'm going to also go with HPU, and I'm going to say they win this one. They win this one 54-51. I think this game goes into the 50s. These teams just great all season long. Great on the defensive side of things. Great on the offensive side of things. The running back quarterback duo all season long has just been phenomenal. 54-51 HPU wins this one. It's almost time for pregame ceremonies. Those will be starting around 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then me, Jim, and Urban will be on the call for the national championship. Final game of the season tonight. It's going to be a good one, folks. It is going to be a good one indeed. And, of course, at halftime, it's going to be no different than it is IRL. The marching bands are going to play for both teams on the field. And let's hope, guys, it's a case of where both teams are getting motivated and fired up in the locker room. And not one team getting an earful from their coach and offensive coordinator, and one team getting hyped up. Well said. Well said. We'll be back in about 2 minutes for the rest of the pregame show. just had it. Off my desk again because now I got messed up. What the heck? I just had it right there. What did it do? Fall on the freaking floor? Yeah. Yeah, that game was unfortunate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like, even the INT, it gave me hope. Because it's like, oh shoot, we're out here doing what we did before.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just all fell apart. But you know what? I'm not even letting it bother me really, because the reason why is because I knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
They were going to beat us eventually.
It was so fucking cold though.
Oh yeah, I bet. I was actually on the way down to North Carolina. I was watching the game in the car.
When you were in Michigan, did you get stuck in the Ann Arbor traffic?
Nope, because we left at like 5 in the morning, and we were down there well before the start of the game.
Damn, because I got there around 6-ish, and it was already packed like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I bet. Next year it's in Columbus, so I bet Columbus is going to be 10 times worse. Now, I want to do exactly to them what they did to us. I want a sea of maize and blue in their stadium next year. Because there was...
No. So when I went the first time I was in the stadium, I was like, there was so much red in the stadium.
Yeah. Dude, so check this out. I had my prescription for my glasses, and I put it on my desk. And the one time I need it to order a new pair of glasses, guess what? It magically disappeared. So now I'm trying to find it before I start the game.
Can you ask for a new one?
Yeah, I need the prescription because I need to order a new pair of glasses.
No. Can't you ask for another prescription?
I mean, I could, but then my luck, I'm gonna find it after. I know it's on my desk somewhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll find it eventually. I just gotta figure out where it exactly went.
No, so Saturday. At first, I was gonna go to the game with Trin, but she had to work, so I
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking tickets were basketball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I believe it.
No, I bought mine like the Saturday before the game. I really should have waited.
I believe that they were pricey. They were
Yeah,
pricey because it's a rivalry.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, you know what I'm not excited about though?
What?
Georgia has to play Alabama in the SEC championship.
Yeah, y'all. Hey, y'all are good. Win or lose, y'all are in.
Well, but the thing is, if we lose the SEC championship, we're probably out.
No, no, y'all are good.
Oh, so we can lose the SEC championship and still get in.
Yeah.
So pretty much that game doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything for you guys, but it means a lot for Alabama.
Well, let's kick Alabama's butts and knock them out of the playoff. Any day Alabama loses is a good day, especially because the refs screwed us the first time we played Bama.
Oh shit.
So I want to get revenge for that. That's the only reason why I want to beat Bama so bad. But I mean, we'll have to see. It's kind of like the Michigan Ohio State Suckeyes matchup. You know, Michigan had to wait 8 years to beat them again. I hope it's not 8 years before we beat Bama again, because we beat them for a title.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good game between Bama and Georgia.
Yeah, it is. One thing, one thing's for sure though that kind of is irritating me a lot recently. Um, is all the or not the Bryce Young slander. All the Bryce Underwood slander. He's up.
He played like fucking shit.
He did, but this is the thing. I can excuse it because he's a freshman. He's still learning how to play in college. It's not like it's not like high school. Like, I mean, he's gonna take a minute to learn things. Like, so people need to stop slandering Bryce Underwood and telling him to transfer.
Yeah, 18-year-old freshman.
Yeah, and they need to stop slandering Sharon Moore. I get it. He didn't call a good game against Ohio State, but he's still our coach. He still cares about us. He still wants to see us win. He's a good coach.
Fucking Lane Kiffin. Oh my.
And then of course, don't even get me started on the amount of Suckeyes fans that forgot that we're still basically 4-1 against them.
Yeah. No. I feel like next year is a make or break year for sure. Can't say his name. Sure.
Sharon Moore.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think this is how the game's gonna go for the next few seasons. If Michigan becomes as good as people are projecting them to become next season, I think it's gonna go Michigan, team from Columbus, Michigan, team from Columbus. That's how I think it's gonna go.
Oh my God! Tell me why someone went so a few years ago. I posted a video of the entrances of Austin's entrance against Michigan,
Yeah,
and someone slid up on my thing and said, "That's your daddy."
bro. Because the thing is they want to deny the fact that Michigan technically owns them over the course of the rivalry. I've looked it up. We're like 62, 53, and 2 against them
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So that I don't understand where Ohio State fans think that we own them, or that correction, where they own us.
No. This. So they only count it. They like counting it since 2000.
Yeah, but you know, you hear it. You want to know what the wildest thing is though? Is that they're sitting there getting on Michigan fans for bringing up the past, but that's literally all they did leading up to this game. And then And then now when they post 27-9 in the comments, they're mad when we post 13-10, 30-24, 42-27, or and then whatever the other score was.
Yeah, it's a rivalry, so there's shit talking on both sides.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like, still, it's a rivalry. I get talking trash, but sitting there denying, like, sitting there denying somebody for
Yeah.
firing back is crazy. Like,
No, if they win the national championship this year, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough on Michigan, on us Michigan fans.
I don't think that they will win it this year.
No. Seeing them in person, they got a good ass team.
I
I just had them there.
I think that the Bulldogs can contain that run game though, because that's one thing Kirby Smart is good at in Georgia. He's good at containing run games, stopping the run. He's going to commit to stopping the run, and more than likely they're probably going to commit. Even if
that pass game too with their QB.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like even if I said their QB's last name, that's disgusting. But no. So literally, he's good at stopping the run. He's good at coverage. Honestly, last season against Notre Dame, honestly, it was just because we had, it's just because we had Gunnar Stockton. He wasn't really used to being in those high pressure situations.
And
So
Notre Dame was good last year too, though.
Yeah, Notre Dame was good last year too. Um, but yeah, so yeah, it was just because we had, our QB2 playing. And their defense, Notre Dame's defense was good. Now Ohio State's or that team from Columbus, correction. That team from Columbus's defense is good. I'll never deny that. I'm not gonna be like a Suck Eyes fan and deny the fact that a defense is good just because we won one game. Their defense is good, but also after watching how Gunnar Stockton played against Alabama and how close the games have been against Alabama the past 2 seasons,
Yeah.
um, I think that the Bulldogs can shut down Ohio State again.
You know what'd be a fun ass game to go to?
What's that?
2 games for next season. Either LSU at Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, because of the new coaching thing.
Yeah. Or I want to go to the Michigan when Michigan plays Oregon.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we should be getting too hard of a schedule next year though, because like
Their schedule is tough.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't think we should be getting a tough schedule next year because sure we won 2 more games than we did last season, but we're still a developing team. And that's assuming that they aren't as good as everybody projects them to be. If they're as good as everyone projects them to be, absolutely. I want a challenge. I don't want just a freaking cakewalk to a national championship. I don't
No.
I don't want to sit there and play cupcake teams all season long. I want real competition. That's what I posted. On my TikTok today. I asked Chat GPT to make a thing that can kind of calm down Michigan fans after the loss, and it did, and it made the perfect one ever. And I have them sitting up there talking their trash to Michigan, and there were several times I brought up the fact because they brought up the fact that we went 7-5 last year, and I was like, here's the difference though. Michigan's schedule was more fair last season. We won a national title the season before, so therefore we should have the tougher schedule. You guys have played nothing but cupcake teams from week 1 all the way up to now, so that is why I think that the NCAA should make it a rule that if you win a national title, you must play a harder schedule the next year. No having 7 cupcake teams and the rest of your conference opponents. Like that's my take on things.
But college football schedules
Yeah,
are made years in advance too.
but that's the thing. Instead of making them years in advance, sit there and be like, okay, the Suck Guys just won a national championship. So how about we make them play Indiana, Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, and then the rest of the games, I don't give a dang if they're cupcake teams, as long as they have some real competition in there.
Yeah, no. That's what happened. That's what happened to Texas because they played Ohio State first game of the season and they lost.
Yeah.
They could easily play the FCS team.
Yeah, but that's the thing though about that is my argument is to Ohio State, Texas is a cupcake team.
For Ohio State has had one competitive game this whole season.
Yeah.
Besides that Texas game.
Yeah, but like that's my point. Like, is that like instead of throwing the schedules out season in advance, for at least the here's the deal. Take a look at who makes the playoff. And for those 12 schools, instead of giving them a schedule in advance, let 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 the NCAA be in charge of that. The NCAA will schedule so many good teams that they must play because they won the championship or because they made the playoff. And then tell the school, okay, you guys can pay whoever you want to play you for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But I gotta go because I gotta try to find this prescription and I gotta start this game. So.
All right. I'll see you.
I'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hey folks, give me just a minute. I am currently looking for something and the game will start after pregame ceremonies. Alright, so yeah, thank you for tuning in. Stick around. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Did I already put my prescription in there? Maybe I already did. I just don't know where this paper went though. It's kind of stressing me out. It was right up here. No. I gotta find the paper. it go? I'll tell Grandma what the fuck. Oh, that's gonna open it. Okay, guys, we are back. Gonna have to find that paper after the game, but let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with a prayer for both of the teams, and then we will kick off the intro. So here is the prayer. Heavenly Father, tonight we gather in the spirit of competition, unity, and gratitude. As these two teams take the field for the College Football Playoff National Championship, we thank you for the dedication, the sacrifice, and the countless hours of preparation that brought every athlete, coach, and staff member to this moment. Lord, that we ask that you watch over every player on the field, grant them strength without injury, courage without fear, and focus without distraction. Let their hard work shine, and let their passion for the game honor you. Bless the quarterbacks leading their teams, the linemen battling in the trenches, the receivers, backs, and defenders who give everything on every play. Keep them safe, steady, and sharp. Protect the coaches guiding from the sidelines and officials striving for fairness and the fans who fill the stadium with passion and pride. May the environment be electric but respectful, competitive but honorable. No matter the result, let tonight be remembered for sportsmanship, effort, and unity. Let every athlete walk off the field healthy, proud, and grateful for the moment they were given. We thank you for the gift of this game, and we ask for your hand of protection and blessing on both the teams competing for the title. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you for that. And now, it is time for the introduction, featuring yours truly, Mason Urbain from the booth. Tonight, the season meets its reckoning. 4 months of brilliance, 4 months of battles, 4 months of teams clawing for survival while 2 refuse to fall. And now, under the Miami lights, with the nation locked in, it all comes down to this. High Point University, the storm no one could outrun. A team that didn't just win, they detonated. Over 40 points in every single game this season. An offense so overwhelming it felt inevitable. And when pushed to the absolute brink, they delivered a classic for the ages. An 84-77 overtime epic against a conference rival that showed their fire, their resilience, and their refusal to break. Ooh. And their most ruthless moment? A rivalry game so brutal, it sent shockwaves through the nation. High Point 133, and their rival 7. A statement, a warning, a declaration that this HPU team wasn't just good, they were historic. In the heart of it all stands Xavier Jarvis, the commander, the calm in the chaos, a quarterback who turns pressure into poetry and broken plays into highlight reels. When Jarvis takes the field, entire defenses hold their breath. Tonight he walks in not just to win, but to define his legacy. Across from him, the undefeated force from Central Michigan. Grit built, battle born. A team that doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, and doesn't fear the spotlight. And leading them is Labas, the cold-eyed sharpshooter. Precision, poise, ice in his veins. A quarterback who thrives when the world gets loud. He reads defenses like an open book, slices secondaries apart, and elevates everyone around him. Tonight, he steps onto the field knowing one truth. Champions aren't remembered for stats, but for moments. Jarvis versus Labas. Fire versus ice. Speed versus precision. 2 quarterbacks, 2 leaders, 2 architects of perfection, meeting for one crown. Both teams undefeated, both teams unshaken, both teams 1 win away from immortality. The stadium is roaring, the lights are blazing, the stage is set. This isn't just a game. This is the final chapter of a season written in sweat, sacrifice, and belief. This is a collision of titans, a duel in the beaches, a battle for a legacy that will echo for decades. So brace yourself, because tonight, legends rise, heroes fall, and one champion will stand alone atop college football. This is the moment. This is destiny. This is the College Football Playoff National Championship. And we are going to start a new live for the game now. We will actually be repeating that one more time in that one. So, folks, enjoy the game.